Well, good morning, everybody. Hello there, Mr. Del Jinks. How are you? We miss seeing you in New Orleans. Hi, Warren. How's it going out there? Well, thank you, everybody, for coming today. As busy salon owners, I know it's probably the best time of year for us to start planning our year is here in January, whenever we're not so busy with the holidays. I know for me, it's kind of like, oh, I can breathe again. The holidays are over, and now I can really start focusing on what my business is doing and what has been going on with it, and kind of doing somewhat of a reflection. And, it's kind of like the time of year where our team isn't so crazy. And they really are just taking the time. They're back in their schedules. We're all just kind of settling back in and kind of looking at, well, what the heck are we going to do for 2015? So today, I really just want to take some time for you guys, just kind of give back, really for us to take this time aside for the next 30 minutes and look at what are we going to do this year to make 2015 really be the year of your success. I'm going to put you on hold for just 2 seconds, and we'll be right back to grow this money tree. All right, so just to be totally open with everything, Bridget and I have flipped over computers. It's so cute because I love Mac computers and Bridget loves this weird Surface thing. So we're going to be using each other's computers today. So I hope you guys can hear me okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I know I see Jackie's on the phone. Hey, Jackie. I know you can't talk back to me, but I just wanted to give you a shout out.
All right, so a little bit about Amy and Bridget. I know most of you guys on the call know us today, but just a little about who we are. I'm a salon owner in sweet Evansville, Indiana, even though today I'm overlooking the ocean in San Diego, and it's quite delicious. While everybody's freezing their booties off in Evansville, I'm enjoying some 80-degree weather. Both Bridget and I are so excited. We got to win the top 200 salon and spas of Salon Today this last year, and we're just so excited to be able to win such an award. It takes so many hours and the dedication to apply for that award, and every year it's just like Christmas all over again whenever we get it. So we were just in New Orleans and was able to receive our award. We love Salon Today and Stacy Sobel and really what they're up to with getting some of the best top salon owners together and really being able to share our successes. So for today, we're going to be going over, Bridget, if you can just advance, yep. All right, so and today we're going to be going over really looking at growing this money tree. I thought it was kind of humorous because to me, I think my team so many times thinks that we have this money tree growing on in our backyard, right? We have this money that we're just making where we can pull off the tree and pay for extra front desk people, extra staff, extra everything. They want beautiful new pedicures, thrones, whatever it is. So we're going to take some time to look at how can we really grow this money tree that you have going on here. So it's here. The 2015 is here, and we're really looking at how we're going to grow this business. So I just really want you guys to think just for 1 second. How would you like to grow your money tree this year? And when I'm talking about the money tree, what I'm really referring to is growing your business. I love this analogy. I really do. I always tell my team, go water the money tree, go feed the cash cow. We're always looking for new ways to grow our businesses. But what happens is most of us as owners, we fall into that trap where we're spending way too much time trying to figure things out and not enough about what we're going to do. So I'm going to share with you guys today that secret ingredient to our 4-step that's going to have us really grow our money tree. It's really some of the simplest ways to figure out where you want to go and what changes we need to make in order to really go there. One of the best ways to grow this tree is to have a plan for growth. That's right, plan for growth. It just doesn't happen. I know a lot of us can, look at last year and go, wow, I grew. How the hell did I do that? But most of us have to really plan for it. Every once in a while, we might have that really lucky year.
Yeah, it's kind of even reminds me of that, like that type of person. Either you're going to wait for things to happen, make things happen, or wonder what happened.
I love that one, Bridget. That's a good one. So which one are you guys going to be this year? Who were you last year, and who are you going to be this year for that? So we're really going to truly work on how we're going to grow your money tree. Because growing your business is really like anything else. There's some really important care instructions that must go into consideration when we're planting and growing this tree. So what we're going to look at is, well, what are those care instructions? How did Bridget and I get the growth and profitability for Top 200? How do we create where our businesses are ran at least 70% with us being gone, out traveling the world, sharing what we know to be true inside of business successes? So what are the things that really worked for us in this last year, and even when we first started our business, for having a true healthy growth in our company? So the first step we're going to look at is preparing the soil. This soil is really the base in which your tree is going to grow, right? So when your tree grows, a strong root system, it will remain strong and rooted even in some of those nastiest storms. When I say nasty storms, I'm talking like walkouts, right? Or you can't pay your bills.
Or we have weather disasters and we need to close our business for 3 days.
Yeah, kind of like some of my accounts right now up there in the Northeast. They just got plowed with some snow, and I know some of them are going, oh, holy cow, you say the word snow and people just shut down their businesses. Warren, I'm sure you're experiencing this probably about right now. So today we're going to look at preparing that soil, and my recommendation is this. We're going to talk our little talk on this webinar, but I want you to take some time. I recommend between 20 and 30 minutes after this webinar with no distractions, shutting everything off, and look at creating your plan this year. Because if not today, then when? Today's the day, guys. It is January, and it's at the end of January. It's time to start planning all of this. And I want you to ask yourself, how could you really double your gross dollars in this next year ahead? Cut your expenses. And just be curious, what would you have to do if you were to double your income, cut your expenses? What would you have to change in your business to really set the impossible to possible? Think of the top 10 things that will really get you to that overall goal. All right, so we're going to go on to step 2. Establishing a strong root system. We need a healthy soil to grow your tree, to really allow this root system to grow. This is what's really going to protect your money even in those toughest storms, like what we just talked about, this huge snowstorm that just came about. We have our highs, we have our lows when it comes to money in and money out. We look at turnovers, all those expenses, seasons, drop-in clientele, and the list just goes on and on and on. So looking at that, what root systems do you have in place? Do you have budgets that allow for these things to happen? Are you really monitoring the money, all the money in and all the money out? Do you look at your salon's numbers? I was on a call yesterday with one of my clients. I'm like, you guys need to run these weekly reports every single week so you know exactly what your team is up to. How much they brought in on services, how much they brought in retail. What is your rebooking ratio? How are you guys doing with retaining these clients? These are some key performance indicators that we need to be looking at on a consistent basis to know, are we doing the right thing? Do we have the right team in place to create this growth in your company?
Yeah, and it's not just like looking at it ourselves or our managers looking at it. Like, how are we actually communicating with our team on a weekly and daily basis where we're at? And even like where we stand on reaching all of our goals.
Yeah. So this is going to be really important for you guys to start looking at, do you have a strong root system in place so that you can grow this business all year long? Number 3, your money tree. This is the trunk of it all. This is a place that will have all the branches and everything shooting off of it to allow your business and all that growth. So I want you guys to think of your trunk as this core. The core is your values, beliefs, and yes, even your spa culture. We just went to a seminar and they were talking about your culture is your profitability. Your culture is your brand. So before you move into any further into 2015, I want you to make certain that you and your entire team have a clear picture of your core of your business and what is that culture that you guys are representing. Are you guys aligned with these core values of the company? Are you as a leader and the owner walking the walk, talking the talk? Because let me tell you, this whole culture thing that everybody's talking about, it's pretty critical. Number 4, step number 4. So as we look at number 4, we start looking at the branches. And if the only thing you guys do is focus on the trunk this year, I'm okay with that. I just want you to know that. If all you get to this year as busy owners is step number 3, it's really, really okay, because that truly is where everything lies. And once you guys get that strong core culture that you want, then we start looking at all the branches, identifying all these branches for growth. We go into, the very top of the tree of the canopy. We start thinking about each branch and the key area of your business. And each one of these branches are going to need a growth plan that's going to have you really nurturing this, watering it, fertilizing, all of these things on a daily and weekly, monthly basis. So some of the branches are finances. We're going to be looking at team and growing your team. Education. What are we going to be doing to grow and really have your team set up for success for 2015? And marketing. So let's look at these branches of these companies for just a minute. So do you guys write down all this? Finances, team, education, and marketing. These are the 4 core branches we're going to be focusing on today. So let's look into it a little bit. Let's get the finances. This is my favorite conversation, and I'm sure some of you guys, it's probably the most painful one to have. But your numbers really do tell a story. I would like this time, I know a lot of us are talking to our accountants right now, closing out 2014. If you're not, then put that on a goal, to go and have a meeting with your accountant to wrap up the year. I have a new accountant. She's one of my new accountants. She's like, yeah, I give it to him all at the end of the year. I'm like, oh my gosh, kiss that way goodbye. It's really critical that we have a good relationship with our accountant, and we really do understand of what's happening with our business on a month-to-month basis. So with your accountant, have them give you a clean profit and loss statement every single month. Start looking at your business in a different way. Like, what type of revenue growth actually do you want to see by design, not by these default numbers you guys are getting, but because you say so. Set those realistic margins for growth for revenue and expenses. Really take the time to identify, where do you want to be this year? I know for me, I'm running $1 million company, so is Bridget. We have to be very careful about those profits at the end of the year. I've said with my coach, and she's like, oh, wow, I mean, that's fabulous, all the money you guys are bringing in every month. What are you making? It's amazing to see the money, all the money we make, and all the money walk right out that door if we're not careful. So think about for just a minute, what areas do you want to increase in revenue? Is it your service dollars? Is it your retail dollars? Is it your booth rental income that needs to go up? What is it? And think for a second. What are the expenses that you can start trimming away? Moving on, looking at our team. When we're growing our tree, let me tell you, it's a skinny tree with just a few branches if we don't have a strong team. This, I believe, is like our frontline customers. These are the people that make a difference.
Yeah, and our team is our biggest asset.
It's what allows Bridget and I to be gone. It's really, these are the key people that has our companies clicking along while we're not there. Your team is playing like this huge, important role in this growth of your business because we can't do it alone. If you guys haven't figured that out just yet, we can't do it alone. And as much as you want to grow your business, you need to grow your team as well. And hey, it does take a little finances to make these things happen. We have to be willing to spend the money on our team and education to grow them in their technical and their soft skills.
Yeah, and it's even like who are, because, Amy and I have been out of our businesses for the last 2 weeks, and we're in constant communication with our teams, but like really looking at like who do we have in place to replace us when we're not there. So how we built that team that way.
Yeah, and are you guys really looking at the big picture for your team? Have you really set career paths for them? I have people that wanted to step up. I took a front desk to management position. I'm taking these different people and becoming directors of education. So this is a great time. We're at the very, very beginning of this year. Set goals with your team. Like, what does your team want? Become that dream manager. Where do they want to go this year? Do they want to buy a car? How about a new house? Maybe they want to go to Italy for 2 weeks. Maybe they want to, take a whole month off and travel the world, or maybe they want to have a baby. I don't know. Mine seem to want to have babies this year. So really set some goals with your team. Find out what's going on with them and where they want to go. It's the best topic to grow them. So take monthly reviews with your team, daily huddles, weekly coaching one-on-one. Make sure that everybody on your team is focused and really have the end goal in mind, not just you. Really celebrate your team's successes. I know that one of my coaching clients, they did a review with their team members, and our team members want them to be acknowledged and praised more. What are we doing? Guys, this was real life reviews. What are we doing as owners to praise our team and celebrate all their successes? We're looking at the next little branch, education. Looking at education, I truly believe that education is growth. I'm an education junkie. So looking at your 2015 plan, it needs to have a branch for education. If you want, I highly recommend it. How are you going to grow your team without education? It really doesn't happen that often. Most of the ones that do not have education have a slow growth. They just do. Education is power. Knowledge is power. And really, when we empower our team does grow, and your profits grow.
Yeah, and even I think it's a part of like what kind of culture you're creating, because I'm a huge fan of technical training, but like even bringing in what kind of business and personal development growth training are we bringing to our team, and like how are we putting that in our culture? Like I just had my 2015 planning meeting with my team, and we went and I asked them what they wanted to see for education, and majority of them were like, we want a 7 Habits of Highly Effective People class. So I've been evolving my culture so they're wanting personal and business development.
That's awesome. And are we looking at technical trainings for your team? Do you guys have the assistant training program in place? If you don't, call Bridget.
Yes, call me.
Do we have a budget for education? I have an account, I'm about ready to strangle them. They don't have a budget for education. You have to have a budget for this. We can spend thousands of dollars in education. So please put a budget in as we're talking about all of this. Let's start educating our team. Technically, as we're opening up these new doors, these new accounts, your customer service is going to be really key. Are you guys training your front desk? This year I'm coming out with a whole new product just for front desk because we don't take the time to train those poor babies up front. They need to learn how to truly serve our customers. And most times as owners, we're too busy to train our front desk team. So looking at, are we training our team on the full customer service cycle? Do you have a customer cycle? Is your team educated on understanding how to retell your guest, how to rebook your guest? What is goal setting all about, like we just talked about with your team on the last slide? Do they even understand? So knowledge is power, guys. Take the time. I know we're busy being busy. Yeah. I got it.
One of the things I would love to add is getting, I know sometimes as an owner, I felt that I educated my team once or twice on retailing and rebooking and goal setting. And I'm like, what's happening? Why is there not a shift going on? And I just really came to the realization, like, we have to keep going over it over and over and over again with them. And it's like holding their hand, and it could be a monthly conversation till finally maybe a year later, that's when it's really hitting home. So I just want to put that out there, like, don't think one or two times education on retail is going to, make an impact. It may take a couple of years sometimes. So it's just kind of that willingness to be unstoppable with educating them, coaching them, and supporting them to move forward.
Yeah, and you know what? I love this little piece because even us as owners, what are you doing to educate yourself? Because you guys know Bridget and I are everywhere all the time doing some sort of training. And we also took the time a couple weekends ago to educate ourselves. So what are you guys doing? Listen, and I needed it. It was so lovely to be a participant somewhere. What are we doing? What are you doing to educate yourself? Not just technical, but what are you going to do to build up that leadership this year? How are you going to do, how is the education going to go in your team whenever you're doing better communication? Because you've taken the time to learn how to really communicate to your team what you need and what you need from them. If there's one thing that I would say made one of the biggest difference for me and my company, and I saw a huge shift and the team was staying around longer, the staff retention was higher, was whenever I started doing the personal development on me. I started developing myself as a leader and how to really be an effective communicator and to get the most out of my team, and it made the world of difference for them. So what are you guys doing on this little branch of your tree? We're looking at your culture, and if your culture is really big in education, team development, we're taking this little branch off of education. I want you guys to have a little bitty branch there too for you. Check out, who are the people that you love? I just saw Brene Brown. I was like drooling because she's just so cool in my world. Brene Brown's all about vulnerability. I thought that was like some Chinese word when I first read it. And now I'm just madly in love with this chick. She is just so great. And it really inspired me. So what are you guys doing as the owners? What is everybody doing on this call to get your own education? Moving on, marketing. And this is our last little branch of the tree. So looking at your marketing. Another powerful way to grow your money tree is really having this effective marketing advertising all in place. This is going to be really key that you guys take the time and look at how are you going to get your name out there in your community so that your salon and spa is out in the face of all your customers. You're promoting all your services and your products. Do you guys have a marketing team? Do you need a marketing team? Maybe you guys need a social media guru working for you. We don't have all the time in the world to be wearing all of these hats. And if there's one thing you guys are going to do differently this year, maybe it's delegating some of the stuff off and training other people to be like you. Thanks to technology and social media marketing, it's become affordable and accessible. People don't have to be in the walls of your salon and spa to be doing this for you. Just make sure that you guys have this marketing plan in action to really create excitement and stay connected with all your clients all the time. Looking at it, you know, every year, which coming up in one of our webinars, we're going to actually, I'll give you a marketing tool to use this year. And those of you that have been to university know, you know, this is one of the key things we talk about is marketing and setting this plan out. Bridget, I know you guys just did your marketing plan. And her manager is so excited about having it all laid out, knowing what she's going to be doing for February, who's involved in it, who's going to be doing all the different things. And, you know, she have to talk to a graphic artist. Where are the promotions going to be? What are you guys going to do to get new clients in the door? What are you going to do to retain your old clients? What networking events are you going to be going to get new butts in your chair? How many butts do you need? So really taking the time to look at your marketing and looking at your advertising. Have a budget for this. I know so many times we get the phone calls of all the Groupons and everybody and everything and every radio ad and newspaper and magazine, but do you have the money for it? If you don't, let's start with the affordable things. Let's start with the things that are free and affordable. If you don't have the money to go spend on some big movie reel ad that they do before whatever movie's out there, then don't do it. It's really okay to say no. They'll be back next month, I can promise you that. So create the plan. Take time out of your busy schedule and create that marketing plan that's really going to launch your business forward and creating more profits for your business. Yes, it is that time, everybody. It is time. The webinar is over, and I'm really excited. Thank you so much for participating in this training. And like I said earlier in this training, I would really love for you guys to take the time right now to look at what is it that you guys want to create for this year ahead. Create the impossible goals for the next 12 months. Call me. I would love to support you. Like, Amy, I'm stuck. I have no idea what I want to do in my business. I have no idea what I want. Please give me a call. I give you 15, 20 minutes of my time that can really launch you guys forward.
Yeah, and I would love to offer the same thing. So, yeah, just insert Bridget in front of Empowering You Consulting and give me an email. BRIGETTE.
Yeah, so looking at Bridget, so taking the time, guys, look at making that list, your top 10 goals. And how is it going to, what are these goals? How are they going to move you to your future goal? Maybe it is $1 million salon. Maybe it's $500,000 salon this year. Whatever that is, take the time with no distractions right now and create that plan. And if you need support, call us. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for being a part of this and this training. I love doing this work. And I hope you have a very prosperous 2015.
Woohoo! Thanks, everyone.